What's up, Zack Attack Pack? Today I'm breaking down my main card predictions for UFC 297. To start off the main card, we've got Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev, the whitest lad from Ipswich versus another Russian crotch sniffer. Both of these young guns are in a division that has had dominant champions and contenders. So with a win here, this will put them in a strong position to start gaining some respect. Movsar is a undefeated Russian mini Khabib who almost got finished multiple times by a newly found fan favorite in Diego Lopez. While this was his debut, he did what he had to do to get the job done, but he was holding on for dear life to his opponent's legs and trying to work from top control. Evloev is an effective grappler, but isn't a dangerous fighter, especially in the striking department. I think he has the clear advantage on the feet and will be able to get back up from takedowns. Evloev leaves his chin exposed, and I think he could easily hurt him. My prediction is Arnold Allen 29-28 unanimous decision, possibly even finishing the fight early if Movsar is shooting desperately out of survival. Next up, we've got Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault. The action man versus the worst fighter name ever, Power Bar. I think this has potential for fight of the night. Chris has stated multiple times he owes Canada for his last performance and wants a banger. So from a technical point, I think Chris will look to get on the inside, land some patented left hooks, and look to have some fun in the pocket, while Barriault tries to keep him at distance with some solid jabs, rolling Chris's hooks and landing his own crosses. I think both of these guys have enough power to shut the lights out. They've both been on a win-loss basis for a couple fights now, and a win here would start off the year on the right foot forward. I think Chris is going to get it done via first round KO. Next up, we've got Mike Malott versus Neil Magny. Mike has looked to be the only serious Canadian prospect at this time. Yes, as a Canadian, this is truly sad. What happened to the days of GSP and the Red King himself, Rory? Mike, however, has been highly impressive so far, and he's getting a featured fight on a pay-per-view in Canada against his first-ranked opponent in Neil Magny. Neil has had a rough few fights lately, especially his last outing against Ian Gary, the vegan who put a brutal beatdown on his legs. He was barely able to stand, and I think this is going to be a changing of the guard. Mike has a massive platform here, and I think he's going to put on a technical show, TKOing Neil in the second or third round. Next up, we've got Raquel Pennington versus Maria Bueno Silva for the co-main event. With the greatest female fighter of all time, Amanda Nunes, leaving the game and retiring, we are entering a new age for the 135 division. To be brutally honest, I was not excited about this fight whatsoever, but after watching some tape, I'm still not excited. Just kidding. This does, however, have the potential to be a decent WMMA bout. Raquel is an OG of the women's MMA game, and she's got great hands, forward pressure, and defense. She's riding a 5-fight win streak, but at the age of 35, this will most likely be her last shot at the belt. She lost her one and only title shot against Amanda Nunes back in the day, but she's gone through many contenders and vets to get back to this spot. Maria Bueno Silva is an aggressive submission fighter with her shoot-a-box Muay Thai arsenal. She comes to finish you and has a diverse game by consistently making you guess where the next shot is coming. For example, either throwing teeps to the body, then mixing it up to the head for a head kick, or in close quarters, throwing bombs or elbows. I think she has deficiency when it comes to her head movement. She's a little bit plotty, and she's got some openings for Pennington to let her hands go if she allows herself to get backed up against the fence. Ultimately, this is a toss-up in my opinion, but I'm going to rock with Raquel on this one. I think her experience and her cleaner technique will land her a UD 49-48 in a closely fought bout. Next up, we've got Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis for our main event. Sean Strickland has made a name for himself by being brash and dishing it out wherever he goes, but he got a taste of his own medicine. Dricus mentioned he will beat him worse than his dad beat him. I thought Sean would respond with, "No one could beat me worse than my dad did," but he was actually rattled by this trash talk, and this later ensued at a brawl at UFC 297. For the fight itself, Sean Strickland has amazing takedown defense, and I believe he'll actually surprise Dricus in this department by stuffing most, if not of all of Dricus' shots. I think DDP will attempt to mix in his wrestling and attempt to control Strickland on the ground and hopefully getting a submission, but I don't think he's going to find any success there. I think DDP can hurt Strickland with his awkward stutter step movements and powerful blitzes, but if he blows his gas tank and doesn't finish the fight early, he will become a lot easier to hit and hurt. With his very already plotty footwork and awkward movements, Sean Strickland could land multiple striking combinations off of rhythm to hurt and stun DDP. Dricus, what I've noticed, has a lot of body openings as well. I think Sean Strickland can play a long game, targeting the classic head body boxing game plan with moments of pressure and point fighting. Another thing I've noticed is when Dricus is blitzing forward, he exposes his chin. I think Sean Strickland could cut an angle and land heavy hands on his jaw. If Sean, however, comes forward while DDP blitzes, this could land him in KO Kingdom, similarly to how he finished Robert Whittaker. I'm predicting Sean Strickland to win via UD 49-47, both fighters having their moments, but Sean getting his hand raised after a hard-fought battle. Boys, that has been my UFC 297 predictions card. Let me know down below whether you disagree or agree. Let me know your predictions. Stay tuned for future updates. Like and subscribe. Ciao.